Thought Life. A new day is dawning. No longer do we have to settle for less. When we demand more of ourselves and think with an elevated purpose, we'll embrace the positives, reject the negatives, so we can live a much more purpose-driven, meaningful life. Thought Life. Now's the time, let's elevate our minds. Make wise decisions that are right. 'Cause responsible thinking will lead us from darkness and into the light. Haunting thoughts of doubt and pain and despair, it weighed me down. But resilience stirred up, and then my strength it came around. With every new step we're taking, fear just fades away. The path to redemption takes me to higher heights. Now's the time, let's elevate our minds.
Welcome, y'all. Happy 2026. Welcome, man. Want to really welcome you to Thought Life, the podcast that lets you know that there's a better way to think. And when we start recognizing that we can work from a more elevated, responsible, positive mindset, that our lives can become better, more fuller, and we can love ourselves and love others in a whole new way. In this episode, I want to introduce you to somebody who I grew up with. He's known me ever since I was a young cat, and I've always looked up to him, man. And like as time went by, what happened for me, man, is that I fell to the wayside based on what I grew up admiring. You know, things I looked up to, people that I looked up to. Right? They were doing things that I had no business doing. But in order for me to fit into that group as part of my evolution, I had to make some mistakes. I had to value things that were very material, that were very earthly, worldly things that really took me off my path. That I found out later that I had a purpose in life, and I was always missing my purpose because I valued the wrong lifestyle and the wrong people. And I thank God that I was able to run back into a man that I look up to spiritually. He's been a spiritual advisor to me. He's one of the people that sharpens us. Iron sharpens iron, and I recognize that I value him so very much in his opinion and how he looks at life and how he looks at his spiritual life that he's developed over the years. And it's only shown me that with having that type of mindset, we get to be adult, responsible men in this community, and we can make a difference. So with no further ado, man, I want to introduce you, man, to Cedric Darnell, man. It's my partner, man. Glad you're here, man.
Thanks for having me, Brad.
So what I want to do was I want you to kind of like, if you could express, like, we weren't always who we are today, right? And I would like you to share with people, man, how you became enlightened about how to be more responsible in your thinking life, man, and the journey. Like I know it may take a little while, but you got all the time you need to share, man. But I honor your journey, man, because if you wouldn't have persevered through a lot of obstacles that most people wouldn't have been able to stay disciplined through, you wouldn't be the man you are today. So I'm gonna turn it over to my brother here and let him speak with y'all, man.
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you having me on the program.
I love you, man.
I love you more. And hope I have something to say to the audience that will make an impact on you and something that you can subscribe to and incorporate into your journey of life. And that's what I like to do. I like to speak life into people. When I share with people about my philosophy, my theology on the spiritual aspects of life and things, I want to make sure that what I'm sharing with them is logical and sensible, and they can incorporate. Some they can use. You understand? That's my job, is to speak life. I serve a power. I serve the universe today. The universe has given me the ability through another program that helped me to rearrange my thinking. And as a result of that program, I'm no longer the character that I used to be 37 years ago. Now today, I've been trying to follow the path at 70, almost 71 years old, follow the path that the universe guides me down. The sunlight of the spirit is who I serve today. And the sunlight of the spirit speaks positive energy, speaks love. And so if I'm to be that person to speak love and positive energy to someone, then I got to demonstrate. I got to be the example. And that's not always easy to do because there's a lower force in the universe that wants to destroy me. That lower force has been trying to destroy me from day one. So 37 years ago, he really tried to destroy me. So as a result of that, God allowed that to happen, or the universe allowed it to happen. So as a result of that, I had to find myself going to a program that reconnected me with the spirit. See, because I got out of touch with the spirit by making bad choices and bad decisions. So now I come into this program that teaches me how to realign my spirit back with the spirit that resides in the temple. So today, what I like to share with you people is that in order for me to be able to tap into that spirit, I have to believe consciously that there's a power that exists that's greater than myself. And as a result of me tapping into that power or learning how to tap into that power comes into my reality and shapes, remolds, and restructures me into the person, into the character, into the spirit that he wants me to be. So today, I'm that spirit that I should have been 37 years ago. But like I illustrated, as a result of bad choices and decisions, I went another direction. That direction caused a lot of pain and hardship on me, caused a lot of pain and hardship on the people that love me. And as a result of that, some devastating things happened to me to cause me to come to a program that can help me get back on track with my thinking, get back on track with my spirit, and get back on track by being obedient to the one that gave me the life. And as a result of that, I like to think the one that gave me life, restored my life back to its natural purpose. I have to glorify that power, and I have to serve that power, and I have to do what that power wants me to do, be obedient to that power, and reach out and make an impact the best I can. See, I done worked at a few of these treatment centers with adolescents and kids. And as a result of working with these folks that were lost, and we try to help redirect them back into reality and become the true purpose of who they're supposed to be, that does me well, because as a result of that, I get bestowed upon. The universe bestows upon me. I don't even have to ask. Good things happen as a result of that. As a result of me being obedient to the spirit rewards me. And as a result of being rewarded, I have to continue to do that. And I get rewarded without asking, because this is something I'm supposed to do from the outset. I'm not supposed to ask for anything for my service. I'm supposed to serve God from my spirit, serve God and do things that allows me to have life. And like I illustrated, I'm 71 years old, and the best reward that I can get is my life, my health, and my freedom. And without that other program that I incorporate and subscribe to, I wouldn't exist today. So I have to surrender to this power and trust that this power can lead me to where this power say he wants me to go. And I know it can't be nothing but a wholesome place that this power wants me to go to. And so far, it's been good. It's been a journey. It's like life has been a journey. It ain't always been a bunch of bed of roses and all this honeycomb and sugar-coated stuff. You understand that we like, that's easy things. There's struggles. There's things that happen in life that cause one, you understand, some pain. But how do you get out of this pain? You have to trust this power that resides within us, that we got to learn how to tap into. And the way I tap into this power is petitioning. And when I petition this power through prayer, this power comes in to my existence. It comes into the temple. But the temple have to be clean from impurities of bad behavior. The temple have to be clean from the impurities of pollutants, drugs, alcohol, all these kind of things that block out the sunlight of the spirit. There's no clean place for the spirit to reside when I'm running on self-will. My will, you understand, which is out of alignment with God's will. And God's will is for me to love. That's the hardest virtue on the planet to demonstrate is love. As a result of me demonstrating love, which I get a lot of practice of doing, it is something that I cannot let up on. It is something I can't rest on. It's something that I got to continue to do. I got to continue to allow the spirit to discipline me, to do his bind, his will, to demonstrate love, to stay humble under all circumstances. I don't care if it's a crisis. The spirit wants me to stay humble. If my mama died, if there's hardships pertaining to job loss, if there's other kind of pains that life presents, you understand, the spirit, you understand, wants me to embrace that. And one would say, how do you embrace pain? I trust in the power that can remove that pain. So I have a program that I subscribe to, that I get information from, that I incorporate, that not just incorporate, I practice it because I believe what that information is saying to me. I believe that that information says if I tap into the spirit and let the spirit guide and direct me, you understand, all will be well. But sometimes, you understand, things are going to happen to where, you understand, you're going to say, oh, the spirit has abandoned me, like a lot of people said. Oh, well, can I say this, Brad?
Yeah.
Some folks said that, well, in the other literature, it talks about when Jesus said, Father, why have you forsaken me? Well, God hadn't forsaken him. What happened was, we do like all other humans do. He demonstrated his human characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of him demonstrating his human characteristics, he, for a minute there, became a human, because now the spirituality done left him, and he thinks it done left him, but it was still there. God was still in his life, allowing him to go through what he had to go through. So God allows us to go through something, but he ain't gonna put no more on us than we can handle. So eventually we overcome all the hardships and pains when we trust this power that's greater than ourselves, which I call the universe. And the universe don't let you down. It allows you to go through things, sometimes to make you strong, sometimes, you understand, to allow you to change up your behaviors and so forth. And I believe that, pain is inevitable. It's gonna happen. It's like yin and yang. You understand? Without the good, you understand? With the good, there gotta be some bad. And so every now and then, when the bad things, come into life, whether I create them or somebody else created them and things, I trust the universe to get me out of, because I know, you understand, sometimes we fall offline and then we get back online. Ain't no 100% absolute nobody. I don't care if it's spirit. I don't care if it's the other denomination, the religious denomination. Ain't nobody gonna be perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't subscribe to perfection. I subscribe to just being the best spirit, the best servant that I could possibly be. And I call myself a servant because I am a servant. I'm a humble servant today, because there's an entity that's directing me and guiding me to do the things that power wants me to do, rather than me run on self-will. Now, here's the deal. Now, I got a free will. It's what I do with my free will. And what I'm supposed to do with my free will is demonstrate good moral characteristics. Now, here's the deal. Now, I'm a spirit, and I'm having human experience. The human nature wants to kill me. The human nature been trying to kill me for a long time now. But as a result of me surrendering to this power, I got a hedge of protection over me. And I say that sincerely and not boastingly. I got a hedge of protection because I trust this power to be in my life and to act when I need this power to. And that's a direct result of me being obedient today. And I'm not 100% like I illustrated, but I'm striving to be better each day that the spirit wakes me up. When I wake up in the morning, first thing I got to pay homage to is the universe, because the universe allowed me to wake up when so many didn't wake up this day. Mm-hmm. So I got to be grateful. I got to show a measure of gratitude to the universe for waking me, because He woke me because there's a purpose he wants me to fulfill. And my journey in life is not through. And I get longevity as a result of demonstrating that love. That's how most people get longevity, by being a good spirit, demonstrating love. Even if people make you mad, even if people do wrong things to you, do things to hurt you, character assassinate you, you understand, do all kind of little shady things, you understand, that's going to throw you off and cause you to get out of character. I still have to demonstrate love to these people. I still have to accept them for who they are and allow them to do what they do, you know. And when I create problems on myself, you understand, I got to realize that, you know, I got to improve on, you know, decision making and choice making and things, you understand, and get to all these other bad choices that I've made, you know, out of my reality to the best of my ability, so I don't have to worry about things, because I like to go through life, you understand, you know, just smooth sailing right on through it. But I already know it ain't gonna happen. So the deal is with me, I just try to keep tapping into the spirit. You know, tap into him every day. When I wake up in the morning, I'm tapping into the spirit. I'm facing the east where the sun rises, because I rose. And when I hit my knees at night, I'm paying homage to the one that gave me life, and I'm giving him the praise and the glory. So I'm staying God conscious through the course of the day, because it's God that's guiding and directing me. And I subscribe to this power that's unforeseen entity that I put my trust in. And thank God that when I came to this program, you know, I heard this young, and he had less time than I had. And he said, God got me to AA, and AA brought me to God.
Yeah.
See, because I had lost connection, that reality of a relationship with my higher power. See, I was raised in the other denomination, the church, from a pop-up, Sunday school to regular service to evening service. So I've always had a relationship with the universe. I've always known who the universe was. I had parents that instilled in me, you understand, you know, how to connect with the universe, how to connect with God,
Right.
by going through church and fellowshipping with people, you understand, that had the same belief system that I believed in. And as a result of me being raised up by these people, you know, I adapted that way of life. And that way of life is still in me. But it got away from me, and God brought me back to that way of life. When I was on a self-destruction path, you understand, God carried me through all that misery, all that pain and suffering. His footprints was deep in the sand. You understand? And look, that other set was in his hand.
Right.
And that was me. See, today I shouldn't be here, but through God's grace and his mercy, he's given me another chance at life. And see, here's the deal. It don't matter, you know, how corrupt, or what kind of status, or what kind of social status in life you came from. You know, if you've been, you know, derailed, you know, from a positive direction in life that you want to go, you know, I suggest that, you know, submit to a power that you can't see. And when I get up in the morning and I see the trees, and I see the rivers and the mountains, and I see life, I don't care what it is, it can be the smallest of life. That assures me that there is a power, you know, that resides and that I can tap into, because when I see that life, there's something that created that life. And there's a lot of different denominations that, you know, call that spirit, you know, whatever term they want to term him as. But I term him as the universe, the sunlight of the spirit, the universe. And that's the one that shows me what I need to do on a day-to-day basis to serve him. And what that is, I'm trying to love Brad today, because Brad brought me here today to talk. And as a result of that, I'm showing him love and respect. You understand? Because he looked up to me, and he think that much of me. So why can't I think that much of him? So that's what I try to do. I try to, when people love it, and when they love on me and things, I'm gonna love on them back. And I'm gonna try to give them something positive, you understand, that they can incorporate, you know, to make them better spirits. Because that's what we are, spirits. And we're having a human experience. And that human experience serves a lower power at times. All these other worldly things that Brad touched on and things, they have no significance in my reality. The entity that has significance. See, I got a program that tells me I can't put the cart before the horse. See, because the cart can't pull the horse. The horse got to pull the cart. And that entity that's pulling the cart is God. It's God. He's pulling the car. So when I pay attention, when I put the emphasis on God, first and foremost, God bestows upon me. He bestows upon me tremendously. And I don't ask for much. I'm a simple man today. And the things that I desire are the things that give life. Monetary and material things that have no value to me, but they're a necessity to me. These are the things that I need to survive in life. But all these other things that make up my human existence, these are the things, you understand, that I try to, correct and better myself in so that the universe can be pleased with my doings and so that he will bestow upon me the rewards. And it talks about that. I read that in the book today. It talked about that in the first edition. So, that lifts my spirit. So, I want to breathe life into people's, So I'm gonna shoot it back.
Well, what I get most from being around you and having conversations with you is that what bonds us way more than anything else, man. is we're like-minded, man. We value the same things, right? We recognize that I can't play God and pray to God at the same time. My self-consciousness is the enemy of my God consciousness. And what do I mean by that? It's that because this is a thought life program, right? You have to realize that the most dominant thoughts that are in your head are going to rule your life. Pleasure. What does the world have to offer you? See, the world has to offer you all these different things that you can value and put above God. Money, sex, gambling, drugs, alcohol, ego, all these things where I push God. God's not even in the equation. And I wonder why I'm suffering. I wonder why life never seems satisfying and filling. I never feel like I have enough. But what I recognize is that I can be lost in my own sense of self-awareness until I expose myself to people like this man, right? He acknowledges that there's a God. I know there's a God, right? I have a personal relationship with my God, right? It's not his, but it's along the same lines. I'm not God. I can't play God. I don't predict outcomes. I don't do any of that stuff, right? Those are the things I did before. And kind of like the bigger book, the Bible talks about when I was a child, I thought like a child. I didn't know no better, so I couldn't do no better, right? But thought life is an opportunity for you to take a fresh look at an old problem and look at your limitations of your thinking. If I don't believe that there's a God and I'm just closed-minded in that area, right? Then I'm closing my mind off to the fullness of life that's right available to me at all times. And I recognize in my uneducated life how many times I called on God instinctively when them pistols was pointed at my head and someone was about to pull the trigger. You know who I called out to? Called out to God. Oh, God, please, no, God, don't kill me. Or how many times I drank too much and I might have been sitting in front of the toilet and like throwing up my guts. Nothing else is coming out, man. But I'm just, God, please help me. You know what I mean? Please help this thing stop, right? But when I get that full dose of pain, why is it that God? I've never been to church a day in my life, but I call out to God. It's instinctively. When I cannot handle life on life's terms and my choices and decisions put me in a position to where my life is in danger, I have no one else to call. I can't call on me because my choices and decisions got me there. Why am I depressed? Because I'm force-feeding myself the impurities of negative thoughts. I'm not loving myself. And how does not loving myself transmit into negative feelings and negative negative depression, anxiety, hopelessness. You know what I'm saying? Like just having no hope at all. There's a lot of people in the world who just don't have any hope at all. How did they get there? They kept force feeding themselves limited information. And when you continue to feed yourself, you're only a byproduct of what you believe. If I believe I'm nothing, and I keep telling myself I'm nothing, and I keep making decisions that back up the fact that I'm nothing, I turn to drinks, drugs, sex, women, all these other things, right? That don't sustain life. They take away from life. I make those sacrifices to feel good momentarily, and then later on, I'm out of touch. I'm out of touch with life. I'm out of touch with love. I'm out of touch with all the things that are so vital in my life. And I wonder how I got there. I get there because I'm not surrounded by like-minded people or somebody that has a belief system that doesn't line up with mine. That's the first initial thing, is that when someone talks to me, right, over my head, right, above and beyond my understanding, it'd do me a great disservice just to have a closed mind, because that's what we have. We have a society of closed-minded people, man, who are not willing to believe what you have to believe to get out of the rut that you're in. A prison in my mind. And that's why thought life is so important. And that's why I wanted to invite this man to this show, because we're like-minded. He's somebody I can turn to when I don't have a lot of people who I can sharpen iron with. You know what I'm saying? On a daily basis. I can call and be like, hey, man, I'm feeling this type of way. And he can come to me, in a spiritual realm and be like, you know what? Once you pray about it, man. Once you do something different, right? Because thinking about and talking about the problem is not relieving me of the bondage of self. What I think about myself in that moment, what I think about that situation, and now I become a victim. And with victimization comes depression, all the other byproducts of toxic thinking. Because there's no God there, there's no center, there's no. That's why when they talk about higher power, it means I got to reach for it, right? It ain't something that's right here. It's something I got to reach for. Always have to reach for a higher understanding, higher learning. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this program. I hope you got something out of it. The main thing is that expand your mind and you will find a new way to think and be a better thinker. And when you're a better thinker, you get to enjoy life on a better and higher level of responsibility, self-awareness, and self-accountability. So I'm hoping that I want to thank my brother here, man, for coming through. God bless you, man. Looking forward to you tuning in to the next episode. Is going to be self-awareness and self-accountability. How do we develop it, and what does it take? It takes commitment. I believe in you. I love you.
Take control of our lives, we're taking action. Let us take